Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy James, and this is a dad's thing. Welcome to, oh my gosh, what are we at? 19? Vlog 19 of 50. On my way to my 50th birthday. Y'all gonna have to excuse me for the extreme level of comfortability right now. If y'all been following this series, y'all know there has been times when this couch has become my very, very best friend. And today I am watching football. I am very, very invested in the Cleveland Browns, in particularly Shedeur Sanders and what he does. They got the win today. Shedeur outdueled first ballot Hall of Famer, most certainly in Aaron Rodgers. But, one of the things that's going on today is my girls are out and about at the mall. And there's just some things that their mom is more geared towards doing with them than I am. I didn't feel like going to the mall today, so I took this opportunity to just chill and relax, watch some football. But I did want to come and say what's up, keep the streak going. And, just real lightweight today. Being able to come and vlog on a daily basis has really showed me that this is something that I can do, that there is content, there is something to talk about, there is something of value that I can give on a daily basis. And the routine, the system that I've developed in recording on my Action 5 Pro, downloading it really quickly to my cell phone, doing all my editing and stuff from there, is something that I can do. And there's been a lot of occasions throughout the years where, having a big old heavy setup with my digital camera and having to put lights and do all of this and do all of that, it really just took away from the whole purpose of doing what I wanted to do, which is to create some content. And then the second thing, also is, again, as I've talked about, just the willingness to go a little bit deeper on some things, just day-to-day stuff. It doesn't have to be a topic that's, gonna cure cancer that I bring to the table, right? It could be just some of the day-to-day stuff that we as fathers go through that can be highlighted, And one of the things that recently came to my attention, online was just the word advocate. Advocate, and it was more or less in the educational space. I listened to, a channel on YouTube that really highlights the importance of education in the Black community. And, I've shared a little bit of my story, how, coming up early, in grade school, the school system did not help me. It really caused harm. And, had I not had an opportunity to right that ship, the outcome for me could be a lot different. So education is very valuable, and these gentlemen really are advocates for, highlighting why education in the Black and brown communities are so, so valuable and so important. When I was looking at that, and one of the things that, I do, especially on this channel, is, this channel is about fatherhood. It's about the things that I do that enable me to be the very best dad that I can be. In 2026, I want to take that a step further. There's not a lot of programs for dads that highlight dads. When we talk about social service programs and such, I don't see them where I'm at. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into the space, and so grateful and happy that I have the opportunity to be able to do that. But B, I want to highlight more the struggles, the successes, the needs, the gifts that Black fathers give to their children and to their communities. There's still, in my opinion, lots of negative imagery. There's just a lot of negativity that's associated with Black fatherhood. And it's just not a picture that depicts the Black father experience in its totality, and is a narrative that has to be changed. It's a narrative that I want to change. So, for me moving forward, I'm going to do a little more work, definitely more intentional work of highlighting the Black fatherhood experience. And I'll start with me. One, I think one of the things that we fail to realize is the importance of culture and how culture affects people differently. Yes, I am born in America, but I have culture from outside of the U.S. There's lots of people who come to the States and bring their cultural beliefs with them. Me having a wife that's from the Philippines, I can tell you her culture, what she was born and raised in, is different, right? There's lots of similarities, but she brings something in addition to what I have here in the States. It's the same thing with fatherhood across the spectrum of whether you're a Black father, if you're a European father or an Asian father. There's aspects to your fatherhood experience that are going to be different. And unless people know what that looks like, they can take things out of context, take things just totally wrong, and paint a picture that's not accurate of the experience of that family. And I thank my mother, even though my mother and father and their relationship, it was fractured. They had a co-parenting situation that worked for them and worked for us as boys. And I'm going to say worked for me, right? Because I always had access to my father. Now, what my father did with that, or what I did with that relationship, was totally up to us. But I saw my father every day, even though we didn't live in the same household. And I was fortunate to have, both houses like literally steps away from each other, right? So it was almost as if, you have two houses on one property and you just go back and forth. So that was something that we had, something that, was what our makeup was. My dad was there every day, right? And I can talk about all of the other stuff at another time as far as emotionally, financially, and all of that type of stuff, how we showed up. But physically, saw my dad every day, had conversation with him every day, had an opportunity to have a relationship with him every day. So again, I want to be able to highlight some of those things so that people are more aware that it's not just one way of doing it. Right before the holidays and having a conversation, and it was about what a household looks like. And there was a statement that was made that it's supposed to look like this, or typically it looks like this. Typically where? Here in America? Asia? Africa? Like where? Typically what, like what's typical? Like we live in such a day and age now where there's nothing typical about pretty much anything that we're dealing with. And, that's a conversation for another day, because we can look at our systems of government and we can say, there's nothing typical, there's nothing normal about what's going on. There used to be norms, but we're not in that day and age anymore. So that's what I want to talk about. And I and as I rewind and say, oh, this is gonna be lightweight, nothing heavy, I get into politics. I get into the family structure. As I was just laying here, just trying to be comfortable, talking about some football, and this couch being my very best friend today. So y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And as always, take care. God bless. Be good. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.